Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 27th day of October 2020. There are 7 days, 1 week exactly from today is the end of the general election. It's National Navy Day, another branch of the military our president never served in. I'm near my home in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. So I'm watching this fake ceremony at the White House last night, swearing in of Amy Coney Barrett. The official swearing in obviously was today, but this pomp and circumstance and her going through this speech of, oh no, I'm going to be independent. You're going to be independent, right? At a ceremony at the White House, which is not where these things are sworn in. I want you to remember that. Let's not make this stuff normal. Supreme Court justice is sworn in at the court. They're not sworn in at the White House. So again, let's not normalize this behavior. In a speech where she thanked Republicans for putting her in, but she's going to be, okay, yeah, she's going to be a centrist. She's going to call balls and strikes. Listen, she wouldn't be there if it wasn't for this. Trump says the quiet parts out loud. He said he wouldn't put somebody on the court unless they agree with him, unless they were against Roe versus Wade, unless they were against Obamacare, and unless they would vote in on his behalf if there's a close election. She wouldn't be there if she didn't already agree to that. So let's not pretend. So what to do about it? Well, I understand Joe Biden hedging of not saying what he wanted to do at the Supreme Court because he wants Republicans to stay in the fold. But the reality is he's going to have to expand the size of the Supreme Court. He has no choice, because the reality is, as they strike down everything they worked on in the Obama administration, what is he going to do? You can't put it back if you have the same Supreme Court. In other words, they strike down Obamacare in a couple of weeks. What are you going to do? Pass another law that gives health care? They'll just strike it down again. Do you pass another? They'll strike it down again. You put Roe versus Wade back, they'll strike it down again. You have no choice. I know you don't want to, but you have no choice. Now, as the Republicans say, elections have consequences. Forget about the revenge factor of stealing seats, so we're just going to add more. That's fine. But you have to understand your history here. First of all, it's not unconstitutional to add seats to the Supreme Court. And other people say, well, if you increase the Supreme Court, then the next time they're in power, they'll increase it even more. I really don't give a crap. If you happen to get in power and you get all three branches and you want to increase it again, that's up to you. But right now, this is what we're going to do. And the reality is, there is a legal justification for expanding the size of the court. See, most people just say, oh, it's 9 and 9 is sacred. It's not sacred, okay? It's 9. First of all, anything that's not handed down by God is not sacred. 9 is random. The same reason why a basketball court is 94 feet. The same reason why a football field is 54 feet wide. It wasn't handed down by God. It was some guy 200 years ago that go back a little bit further, Okay, yeah, that's good. That's all it is. It's random. Now, the original reason for 9 justices on the Supreme Court, they changed it from 7 to 9 in 1883 because there were 7 circuits and now there were 9. There were 9 circuits. Well, there are 13 circuits now. The original idea was 1 justice for every circuit. So it's completely appropriate to expand it to 13. I'd expand it to 15, but that's just me. There's absolutely no reason not to expand that to 13, at least. So he has all kinds of legal and moral justifications for that. So all this, well, then you're setting a precedent that the next person, we'll deal with that then. Right now, this is what we're doing. I'm not even going to get into all the court packing they did at all the lower courts, as they blocked every Obama appointment for 8 years. And then as soon as Trump came in office, they approved every single one of his. Half of them were unqualified, they didn't care. So they got over 300 justices at lower courts. And the only way to stop this foolishness is to put the Supreme Court back to where it rightfully should be. Now, as far as these numbers are concerned, as far as the election, I believe, I've been pretty good about this. I told you Joe Biden will win the first debate. I told you by how many. I told you Kamala Harris will win the second debate. I told you by how many. I told you Joe Biden will win the third debate, and I told you by how many. This election is going to be a landslide. It is going to be a tsunami, the likes of which we haven't seen in 30 or 40 years. All this hand wringing about, oh, well, what if Pennsylvania closed? It won't be closed, and it won't matter anyway. Donald Trump will not get to 270 electoral votes. He won't get to 200. I'm predicting 191. But that's not even really the issue. The issue is making sure we flip the Senate, and the issue is making sure you flip these state houses so that these 12-hour-long wait, you put an end to that. The problem with even having control of the Senate and the House and the presidency is that these lines, excuse me, and all these voter suppression things are done at the state level. Each election is handled by its own state. So you need to get control of the state houses in Texas and the state houses in Georgia and the state houses in Florida. So you could turn this thing over and then open up access to voting and mail-in voting and drop boxes and other secure locations where the votes can be counted. If you don't do it at the state level, your next election, you're going to have the same problem. So you got to get out there. My daughter lives in Pennsylvania. She told me yesterday she had to wait 4 hours to vote. I told her I was proud of her for doing it, but it's ridiculous that she had to do it. But again, they're so close. 9 seats in Texas to flip that legislature. I think it's 7 or 6 in Pennsylvania to flip that. There's 7 or 8 in Georgia. So you need to flip these things so that you can change election laws so that you can open it up and allow people more access to voting so people don't have to risk their lives in the middle of a pandemic to have their voice heard. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.